charge fees for changing theirs. No change fees, ever. United, the official airline of the Golden State Warriors. Does not include basic economy unless a United waiver applies. Exceptions apply for certain international flights.
The roar of the crowd. The sweet sound of a swish. Nothing beats being there live at Chase Center for the game, Warriors fans. And Ticketmaster is your official gateway to buying and selling the best seats all season long. Ticketmaster verifies every seat sold, guaranteeing that getting into the game is a layup. Be there live to defend Warriors ground this season with seats from Ticketmaster.com/Warriors. Ticketmaster, the official marketplace of the Golden State Warriors. Listening to the Golden State Warriors Audio Network.
Presented by United Airlines.
This has been a presentation of Odyssey Sports. For even more coverage of your team, download the free Odyssey app and listen to your favorite stations, shows, and podcasts.
That's a wrap.
Yo, that's a wrap. It was an amazing experience. Hope everybody enjoyed it. Hope they got some laughs and good entertainment.
This is Warriors Wrap Up on 95.7 The Game.
Mitchell goes to work, foul line, step back, 18-footer short. Looney defensive rebound, leads Curry with a beautiful pass on the break, inside hand, left side of the bucket. It's good. The Warriors take the lead, and the Cavaliers call time.
That's right, Cavaliers call time. Part of the Warriors' 32-24 fourth quarter. As they come back, they rally, they beat the Cavs inside Chase Center tonight. 106-101 is the final. Welcome you inside Warriors wrap up here on 95.7 The Game. John Dickinson broadcasting from Harmonic Brewing in Thrive City, outside of Chase Center in the Thrive City Plaza. Stop by, say hi out here until probably about 11:15 tonight, making some sense of the Warriors getting themselves slowly but surely back on track here with another game that really followed the template of the ball game in Chase Center on Monday night, where it was a whole hell of a lot of Steph Curry down the stretch. Steph with 17 of his 47 in the fourth quarter against the Kings on Monday. Tonight, Steph equally as spectacular in the fourth quarter, with just big shot after big shot. The shot there to give the Warriors the lead, and Steph just tremendous. Another 40-point performance. 18 in the fourth quarter for Steph after the 17 on Monday night against the Kings. So the Warriors improved to 5-7 on the season. They're playing well at home, and they're just trying to stack some wins together to get closer to 500 and work themselves through this funk that really began on the road trip where they went 0-5, but just not a lot you can say about just how spectacular Stephen Curry has been putting this team on its back. And we've seen Steph do that to lead the Warriors to playoff wins and series wins and an NBA championship win going back to the summer and all of the heroics against the Boston Celtics. But yeah, the second time in as many games for Steph Curry to go for 40 or plus. He also extended his NBA record three-point streak to 200 consecutive regular season games with a three. He's now scored at least 30 in 9 of the 11 games he's played in. Of course, the Warriors now 5-7, so they've played 12 overall. And the Warriors beat a plucky, young, talented Cavs team that gave them fits at different points of the ball game. But 32-24 in the fourth. Warriors from 11 down, just chipping away, hanging in, grinding, and getting a win 106-101. So 888-957-9570. That is the phone number to participate in the program. You can give me a call or shoot me a text, as a few have done already on the Xfinity mobile text line here at 888-957-9570. Let's react to this one. We'll hear from the head coach of the Warriors, Steve Kerr. We'll hear from Draymond Green and others from downstairs back inside Chase Center in the Bill King interview room as the Warriors now begin this stretch where they're going to be playing a lot of games, fast and furious. Another one against Sacramento, who's playing much better basketball than they were to start the season, and then right back in this building on Monday at Chase against the San Antonio Spurs. So better defensive effort tonight. Just some observations. The Cavs came into the game tonight a top 3 team offensively in terms of offensive rating. They were actually top 3 offense, top 3 defense in this game, and the Warriors hold them to 101. And there wasn't a bad quarter. It was basically, you look at it quarter by quarter, 25, 27, 25, 24. The Warriors are going to win a lot of games if they're keeping teams right around the 25-point mark as far as points in a quarter. And they were able to, despite the fact that the Cavaliers were getting to the free throw line, despite the fact that the officials, I thought, had a rough night, probably the worst night that any crew has had involving a Warriors game in the 12 to start the season. David Guthrie's crew struggling at different points in times, really both ways, I thought. I know the chants were going inside Chase tonight. The Warrior fans were frustrated. You look at the technical fouls. Draymond Green picking up a technical foul. The Warriors getting a delay a game technical. Steve Kerr gets a technical. There was a flagrant foul for Jordan Poole running under the 3-point shot of Karis LeVert, who knocked down the 3, and then it ended up being a 3+1 on the free throw attempt. There was a real shoddy delay of game call, and then one that probably benefited the Warriors was Klay Thompson obliterating Isaac Okoro on what would turn out to be a massive Steph Curry 3. After the layup we played to open the program, put the Warriors up 1, Curry then drilled a 3, and Klay Thompson, I think, took out some of the frustration of his 3 for 13, 2 of 7 for 3 night on Okoro, and really freeing him up, almost like a left tackle or a fullback lead blocking on a running play to get Curry an open hole to get that shot up. So rough night both ways, I thought, as far as the officiating went, but the Warriors able to persevere, overcome 26 free throw attempts to the Warriors 14 for the Cavaliers, but the Warriors just kept plugging, kept chipping, kept fighting, never really let the game get out of hand. The biggest Cavaliers lead was 11, and every time it looked as if maybe the Cavs were going to take control, the Warriors would hit a big shot, make a play defensively, maybe force a turnover that would set themselves up to be in position to just kind of hang around in the game. Another observation from this one, Jordan Poole gets rolling in this game tonight. Jordan Poole played 14 consecutive minutes during his run that bridged the back half of the first quarter and the first half plus of the second quarter. 14 straight minutes. He had 9 points. He was much more aggressive than I think we've seen Jordan Poole of late. Poole's been trying to dance and almost fiddle-faddle, as my guy Matt Steinmetz likes to say, with the ball out on the perimeter. Dribble, a lot of dribbling to try and set up his moves, a lot of just kind of messing around with the basketball rather than getting the ball and either attacking, try to drive and make a play or get a shot for yourself, or take a shot if you think there's a three-pointer to be had from the perimeter, or move the rock and maybe get it back. I thought Poole was more decisive and aggressive. I wonder how much of that was Dante DiVincenzo being back out there playing alongside him for the portions of his minutes that went along the lines of with the Warriors bench. So he was out there playing some with Curry. He was out there playing some with DiVincenzo. He was back out there with Curry. And Jordan Poole, nice night for him. The three-point shot was falling. 6 of 13 overall, 4 of 8 from 3, 18 points. And the Warriors needed every bit of the 18 that he was able to provide, in part because it was another night that was a struggle for Klay Thompson, and the frustration continuing to ooze out from Klay at different points in this game. And he's just wearing it right now, and missing a lot of shots short. I know Steve Kerr mentioned that in his post-game press conference. It's still trying to get his legs under him a little bit. I did think while Klay missed some shots, it seemed like he didn't take as many bad shots as he had at times. Where I've said this, it's almost as if Klay Thompson is trying to take 2 shots for every miss to get himself back on track, and I didn't feel like he quite did that as much tonight. Now, he wasn't hitting, and seemingly he's 1 for 5 on a lot of these nights, or the rare occasion he's been 2 for 2. The 2 for 2s turned into 2 for 7s, but Klay stuck with it, and I threw it out there on Twitter during the fourth quarter. Steve Kerr had a decision to make. He really did. He had a decision to make in the fourth quarter as to who was going to finish the ball game for the Warriors. And Klay Thompson, Andrew Wiggins subbed out for Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole came in with 5 minutes to go, and Wiggins was going to, and Poole was out there with Looney, with Draymond Green, with Klay Thompson, and with Stephen Curry. And Wiggins went to the bench with about 5 to go, and Wiggins is going to be coming back at some point to close. And the question then became, who does Andrew Wiggins come back for in the final 2-3 minutes, whatever Steve Kerr decides to go with? And the question was answered with Wiggins came back in for Jordan Poole. I thought if there was going to be a night where maybe Steve Kerr was going to go away from Klay Thompson and let Jordan Poole finish the game along with Wiggins and Steph and Draymond, tonight would have been the night. Looney in there as well. But Klay came in for Wiggins, gave him that quick rest. Wiggins came back in for Jordan Poole, so Poole took a seat, and he still wound up in the game, offense, defense, substitutions, and the like. But it was Wiggins back in, and it was the starters, including Klay. And look, Steve Kerr's on record a bunch of different times saying he's effectively ride or die with Klay Thompson at the end of games. No matter how badly he's played up until that point in a game, he believes that Klay is going to be, at a minimum, a clutch player down the stretch in some of these games. And immediately Klay Thompson hit one of his 2 threes at that point, and it was a big one when he was reinserted into the game. So I think Steve Kerr wins that. He played more solidly defensively in the final couple of minutes than he had at any point, and Klay kind of rose to the occasion in a moment where it felt like there was a little bit of a crossroads or a decision. It probably really wasn't much of a decision, although I thought if there was ever a moment for him to make it, Steve Kerr had the potential to do it, because you're not taking Looney out with the bigs that the Cavaliers put on the floor. Looney was going to be one of the finishers in this game. But would it be Klay? Would it be Poole? You knew it was going to be Wiggins, because Andrew Wiggins continues to play really steady basketball, minus 2 or 3 games on the road trip where he was quiet, and the Warriors have really needed that. 20 points on 13 shots. Wiggins got to the free throw line a couple of times, but you take away the threes, and Wiggins was 7 for 9 on 2s in the game. And the Warriors just absolutely needed that efficiency. I'll give you another quick nod to somebody that hit a couple of really big shots at different stretches of the game. First half, second half, was Anthony Lamb, who found his way into the rotation going back to the game on Monday against Sacramento. And Anthony Lamb knocked down 2 of 5 from 3, but a big 2 key moments where it felt like the Warriors needed some momentum. And, he's playing right now essentially ahead of JaMychal Green. He's playing ahead of Moses Moody. He played ahead of Jonathan Kuminga in the second half. It was a 9-man rotation for Steve Kerr. It was really more of an 8-man rotation because Kuminga only played 4 minutes. Another night where I thought the energy was better for Kuminga than it's been, but he's just not effective right now. And I know people want him to play, and I know he can be electrifying, and Steve Kerr is trying to get him out there, I think, without a doubt. Like, you can see he wants to put him out there. He wants to let him learn and make mistakes, and be able to grow as a player, but every time he tries to give Kuminga a little bit more of a leash, Kuminga just takes himself out of the game by the way that he's playing. So it was a 9-man rotation, but it's really more of an 8-man rotation and almost a 7-man rotation if you look at the minutes. DiVincenzo got 15, Anthony Lamb 23, Jordan Poole the 33. He was essentially a starter. So it was 6 guys at 30 or more minutes tonight, the starters plus Jordan Poole, and then essentially Lamb and DiVincenzo, the added players off the bench. So, yeah, very few minutes for Kuminga, nothing for Moses Moody, JaMychal Green, or James Wiseman. Telling Wiseman finding his way out of the rotation now for 2 consecutive games, and tonight with the Cavaliers having some size. And Steve Kerr's reining it in right now to really try and do everything he possibly can to maximize the Warriors' ability to win games, to salvage what they can out of this stretch where they're really trying to figure things out and plod along. But Steph Curry, I mean, just if you can win an MVP for keeping a team from being, careening off a mountain before the season can ever really fully establish itself, I think you got to give Steph Curry some credit for that, because he has refused now in 2 games in a row to let this Warriors team lose against a couple of up-and-coming potentially teams. The Kings in the Western Conference and the Cavs maybe have already arrived a little bit on another level coming in here tonight at 8-3. So 888-957-9570, 888-957-9570. It's John Dickinson here on 95.7 The Game. It's Warriors wrap-up as we broadcast from Harmonic Brewing. We're in Thrive City. Got a nice little crowd inside and a few people outside enjoying a beverage. I'm having a Harmonic Kolsch, which is their flagship craft beer. It is crisp. It just having a good time with it. Refreshing. It's an ale, but it tastes more like a lager. Having a good time. The folks watching on YouTube and Twitch right now, cheers to you from Harmonic Brewing as the Warriors get the win here. I'm gonna pause for effect here and take a sip. So those of you on Twitch and YouTube, you're welcome. Very good. Very, very, very good. 888-957-9570. Let's go ahead and hear a couple of minutes of Steve Kerr back inside Chase Center, the post-game press conference here on 95.7 The Game.
Steve, you used the word breathtaking to describe Steph in Monday's game. Just what do you make of his performance tonight and ability to just once again carry the team?
You run out of adjectives to describe Steph's play. He's just amazing night after night. He's in such great shape. I think if there's one area where he's dramatically better now than when I first got here, 8 years ago, is just his strength and conditioning. He's much bigger and stronger, much more capable of defending at a really high level and sustaining two-way basketball, for an entire game and just knocking down shots from all over and finishing at the rim. He's unbelievable.
Is this as good a stretch as you can remember from him, just like closing games, like when you guys needed down the stretch, just pure as a scorer going together?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to even remember and to compare because he's just been so good for so long. If I said this is the best he's been, Raymond would bring up some 8-game stretch he had last year and the year before that, and the year before that. And so he's always been brilliant. But I think given the circumstances with our team, kind of in a rut, trying to dig our way out of a hole, he's just been spectacular and never been better. I can say that.
Steve, was this a good night for Jordan Poole? Seemed to find a rhythm out there tonight.
Yeah, it was. You knew it was going to happen. I mean, Jordan is a proven player, helped us win a title last year. He's done this now plenty of times. So it was just a matter of time for him to break out, just like it's a matter of time for Clay to get it going as well. But what I liked about tonight was just the competitive level for everybody. And I think that's the key. You know, when you're struggling, you just have to compete as a team. And you know, it may not be pretty, but you just dig it out. And everybody's competing. And we competed in a smarter fashion tonight. Not as much fouling, you know, not much transition. We took away their easy stuff. We made them work. And I think that's, you know, when you just lock in on that individually and as a team, then, you know, stuff just sort of plays out. And so you knew Jordan would get going.
What else did you kind of like about your 9-man rotation tonight?
About
your 9-man rotation tonight?
I thought Lamb gave us great minutes. You know, he does a lot of things well out there. He's got a quick release on his three and sets good screens and moves the ball. It was good to have Dante back. We obviously haven't gone deep into the rotation the last couple games, but you know, in my experience, when you're in a little bit of a hole like we've been, you dig your way out and then the game gets a little easier. You know, it seems really hard when things are going poorly. You know, everything is difficult. And then once you compete your way out of it, the game smooths out. And as that happens, I think we'll be able to go deeper into our rotation and guys will get more comfortable and confident.
It was clear you guys were upset by some of the fouls, maybe especially in the fourth quarter. How did you see your guys push through that frustration so the game didn't spiral into something else?
We talked about it. We talked in the huddle with 15 seconds left. We all knew that play that we challenged would not be reversed, despite the fact that everybody saw that it wasn't a foul. We knew it wouldn't be reversed. It's just the way it is. I can't wait to see the last 2-minute reporting on the review of the play itself. And it's just tough. It's you got to play through everything out there, and especially when you're struggling. You know, it just you got to fight through the adversity, and whether it's a tough call or injury or poor play, you just keep going, and that's what our guys are doing.
With a lot of Clay's missed shots, they're coming up maybe a foot or so short, and I was just wondering if you had any thought on why that is. Or is he still getting his legs back underneath him, or why is his missed shots are just coming up short?
Yeah, most of them are short. The vast majority of his misses are short right now, and that usually just points to the legs. And so he's been working hard, and obviously got a slow start to camp, and it's affecting him. But he's getting his legs underneath him. I thought his defense was fantastic down the stretch. He did a great job on Donovan Mitchell, and it's just a matter of time for Clay before everything comes together.
Steve, a couple key plays by Wiggins there, sort of midway through the fourth quarter to get you guys charging. What did he show energy-wise?
Yeah, Wiggs was good. Made a couple of steals and got to some loose balls, and he's always a great secondary scorer for us. He just seems to find his way to 18 or 20 points every night. And I thought it was a team defense overall, and that made the difference tonight. And Wiggs is a huge part of that.
Yeah, much better defense from the Warriors tonight, having the 3 days off and a couple of practices to figure out how they wanted to defend and get sharper with their switches and their coverages and their assignments and their rotation and all of that. I thought the Warriors were sharper than they have been with all of that stuff. Wiggins, terrific. He's, along with Steph and Draymond, really played well to help the Warriors win the games that they've been able to come out on top in through these first 12. He's been a huge part of it, just doing a lot of the little things and scoring and being steady defensively. And tonight, no exception as far as Andrew Wiggins goes. 888-957-9570. Let's get to the phones. Mike in San Francisco here on 95.7 The Game. What's going on, Mike?
Hey, what's up, John? Hey, great win tonight. Cleveland, one of the upstart teams in the league. I know coming off of a loss to Kings, they really wanted this one, and they really thought they had it. But once again, number 30 coming through again, just incredible. The level he's playing at, the efficiency he's playing at right now. He's just playing like the best player in the league right now, and the level he's playing in. It's interesting because noting that Kerr has really stuck to his word. He's tightened up the rotation. And I want to get your opinion on how long do you think he foresees this? It looks like Kuminga's pretty much out of it. Poole was pretty much back to himself. They need that efficiency out of him. Clay is up and down, so tonight you're not a big. Wiggins has got to be that second guy, that two-way Wiggins we expect, and he was spectacular tonight. But overall, it looks like Wiseman is not going to be in there. Moody, I'm surprised not getting the minutes here. Do you just think they're going to go to an 8-9-man rotation because you don't want to have to exhaust Curry and a bunch of the starters like Wiggins and Draymond out? So do you think he's just going to keep this until they get rolling and get out of this up and down start they've had and bust out of it, or do you foresee this for going on until the young guys can prove it, which we don't know how long it's going to take for him? And the Warriors can't really afford you because you don't want to be stuck in
right.
Up and down going into the playoffs. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, thanks, Mike. Great phone call. 888-957-9570. Mike's line open for you here on Warriors Wrap-Up. I think Steve Kerr is going to keep a tight rotation until they can get things back on track. I think he just told you there in the post-game press conference. Now, it can't be this tight, and I don't think it will be this tight as things progress because the Warriors are going to be playing games where they're coming every other day and 3 and 4, and there's back-to-backs coming up. I mean, they go Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, Monday, the next 9 days, basically. You look at it on the calendar. So they've got Sunday, Monday games each of the next 2 weeks. They're playing Wednesday and Friday each of the next 2 weeks. And so, it was a little bit more sustainable to do it the way Steve Kerr's done it, because the Warriors had the game where they gave the veterans the night off before the Sac game. They had 3 days off after the Sac game. They had 3 days off leading into this game. So you could really rein it in for these couple of games here and be effective with it. And that, though, I think goes away once you start playing back-to-backs and once you start playing 3 and 4. And I think there'll be an interesting decision as to what the Warriors do. And Steve Kerr said it. Clay's not going to play back-to-backs. And so, they got a decision. Is it going to be the front end and maybe he doesn't go and play in Sacramento, or is it going to be the back end, which is the home game? The Warriors typically, it seems like they want the main guys to play as much in the home games as possible. So maybe the Warriors change it up, and the first game of the back-to-back is the one that Clay sits out and doesn't make the ride up 80 to Sac. We'll see and find out more about that tomorrow and on Sunday. But as much as the Warriors have needed a shorter rotation to be able to kind of get on track, it really, and Coach Kerr mentioned it Monday, it is not sustainable over the long haul. It's something that can get you through, but at some point, the young players are going to have to prove that they can be a bigger factor in what's going on. And I think one of the key components of this game tonight, as the 858 points out here on the Xfinity mobile text line, the Warriors need to get Jordan Poole out of his slump. And tonight was a step, because he's somebody that can play. If Jordan Poole can play 33, 34 minutes and play effectively, that helps offset the fact that Klay Thompson is 3 of 13. That's a few minutes less that maybe somebody else has to play right now, because Poole's young and doesn't necessarily have to be somebody that needs to be rested in back-to-backs or taking nights off. Like, he's one of the guys that you want to be able to assume the position of soaking up the minutes when the others, to where you can win games regardless. So 888-957-9570. We'll go ahead and pause here. We'll come back. We'll hear from Draymond Green. Still have time to take some phone calls. Out here at Harmonic Brewing in Thrive City outside Chase Center, enjoying a Kolsch and enjoying Warriors wrap-up as the Dubs get the win over the Cavs, 106-101. You heard it right here on 95.7 The Game.
And now an important message from music superstar Willie Nelson.
I've been fighting for legalization of the one thing that can bring comfort to millions. And of course, I'm talking about Skechers.
Can we stop the commercial? Willie, I don't think Skechers are illegal anywhere.
Really? But they feel so good.
No, you can wear them anywhere, Willie.
Well, pass the Skechers.
Skechers comfort feels so good because Skechers is the comfort technology company and has all the fits and features you need for ultimate comfort. Find Skechers at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Kelley Blue Book is the one-stop shop for pricing, fixing, selling, and instant cash offering. Instant cash offer is exactly what it sounds like. An official offer to buy or trade your car. Just enter your VIN or license plate, answer a few questions about your car's history, and what kind of condition it's in. In minutes, you'll receive an offer to sell or trade your car that you can be sure is fair. Then choose a dealer to purchase your car and schedule a time to meet. For all of the its, KBB.com.
Attention! Did you or a loved one live at or near Marine Base Camp Lejeune in North Carolina between 1953 and 1987? If so, listen closely for this important legal announcement. From 1953 to 1987, Marines and their family members at Camp Lejeune drank water that was contaminated with hazardous toxins. The toxins found in the water at Camp Lejeune may cause health issues, especially later in life. Types of health issues associated with water at Camp Lejeune are numerous. If you or a loved one lived near Camp Lejeune between 1953 and 1987, you may be entitled to substantial financial compensation without going to court. Even if you were turned down in the past, a new law can allow you to file a claim today. If you or a loved one spent time near Camp Lejeune, call the Negligence Network to find out if you're eligible for financial compensation. There's no fee unless we win your case. Call 1-800-700-4333. That's 1-800-700-4333. 1-800-700-4333.
Where can you light up the tree and the savings? Lowe's, actually. Find deals on endless festive holiday decor, like 20% off all pre-lit artificial trees and endless gifts found only at Lowe's. Like the new Cobalt 257-piece mechanics tool set for $99, valued over $600 if purchased separately. Check back daily for deals during Black Friday month and start saving now at Lowe's. Home to any possibility. Offer valid through 11/16 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
California, you deserve more. And with United Healthcare, you'll get more. Annual enrollment is October 15th through December 7th. So call United Healthcare today. With the United Healthcare Medicare Advantage Plan, you get more from your Medicare dollar, now including better than ever dental, vision, over-the-counter, and prescription drug coverage. Call United Healthcare at 1-888-CALL-UHC today and speak with a licensed sales agent. Benefits, features, and/or devices vary by plan and area. Limitations and exclusions apply.
Open wide. Let me see that smile.
There's a back-to-school braces boom at Doc Kelly's office.
Can you hold on for a sec? Can someone bring me more brackets?
She needs to realign her staffing plan with more registered dental assistants.
Can you reorder the rubber bands in red?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out. Go to getrba.windows.com for full offer details.
Homeowners, do you know when to replace your windows? Feeling too hot or cold? It's time to replace. Can't see through fog between the glass? Time to replace. Spending too much on expensive energy that literally goes out the window? It's definitely time to replace. If you've put off replacing windows in your home because it's too expensive, here's great news. You can now get a free in-home window consultation and free price quote from Renewal by Andersen, the company with the most 5-star reviews among leading full-service window replacement companies. And during their Black Friday sale, you can save $355 off every window and $910 off every door. Just text SCREEN to 323232 for your free consultation on top quality affordable windows or patio doors for $0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for a year. That's right, you don't pay a dime for an entire year. Plus, you can save $355 off every window and $910 off every door. But hurry, this offer ends November 25th. Text SCREEN to 323232 right now. Don't go into winter with drafty windows. Text the word SCREEN to 323232. Don't wait. Text SCREEN to 323232.
Are you interested in new career opportunities in the Bay Area and want to make a difference in your community? The San Francisco Sheriff's Office is looking for people considering a job in law enforcement right now. If you're at least 20 years or older with a high school diploma or equivalent, the San Francisco Sheriff's Office wants to hear from you. Enjoy full benefits, flexible schedules, and opportunities for growth and promotion. For employment announcements and more information, visit sfsheriff.com. That's sfsheriff.com to apply today.
UCSF Sports Medicine Center is dedicated to treating every type of athlete, from kids to adults, amateurs to elite professionals. As one of the best orthopedic programs in the nation, UCSF has programs to optimize an athlete's performance and the latest advancements to treat the most complex sports injuries. With locations throughout the Bay Area, now including Marin, Walnut Creek, and Redwood Shores, it's even easier to make an appointment today. Visit ucsfhealth.org so you can get cleared to play. UCSF Health, redefining possible.
Hey, Santa Clara County sports fans. The new Omicron booster is here and available for everyone 12 and older. Remember that kids can get really sick with COVID and the effects can be serious and long-term. You can't be at the top of your game when you're super fatigued. So keep your athletes safe this fall and winter with this important booster. And of course, wear a high-quality mask whenever you're inside with lots of people. Visit sccfreevax.org or call 211 to make your booster appointment. Stay healthy and stay in the game.
Curry down the lane, back to Draymond, back to Curry, left wing, three, yes! Tie game! A minute 15 to go, it's 98-all.
Now back to Warriors Wrap-Up on 95.7 The Game.
Steph Curry just spectacular, putting the Warriors on his back. 40 points for Steph, 15 of 23, 6 more threes out of 11. Did miss a couple of free throws. That's highly unusual, but the Warriors wind up winning this one tonight from down 11 to their largest lead at the end, 106-101 the final. So the Warriors now improved to 5-7 overall. John Dickinson on Warriors Wrap-Up on 95.7 The Game. We're from Harmonic Brewing inside Thrive City. Dubs 5-1 at home, 4 in a row on the home floor at Chase Center with in the win column. And the Warriors are still looking for their first road win of the season. They'll get an opportunity to do it to just up the road in Sacramento. Kings won again tonight as they beat the Lakers without LeBron James. It was close. In fact, the Lakers led for most of the game down at Crypto Arena, and Sacramento put it away late, though. De'Aaron Fox, another big game. He's had a pretty torrid start to the beginning of the season. So the Kings are going to come into that one at 5-6, and the Warriors at 5-7. Sacramento has won 5 of their last 7 after they started the season 0-4. And because the Warriors haven't played the Kings enough, they'll play them one more time in Sacramento coming up on Sunday, and then not again until April. I think it's the second to last game of the season where the Warriors and Kings go at it again in Sacramento on April the 7th, if memory serves. And for those of you that know, memory does typically serve for me when it comes to the Warriors' schedule. 11 in a row in the regular season against the Cavaliers for the Warriors. That's the longest active winning streak for the Dubs against any opponent. The Warriors also have an 8-game home winning streak against the Cavaliers, including the playoffs. The Warriors have won 19 of the last 20 games against the Cavaliers, including 15 in a row. So you go back to all of those finals games, and the Warriors, since that Game 7 of which we do not speak in the 2016 finals, the Warriors have won 15 straight games, regular season and playoffs, against the Cavaliers in some iteration of the Cavaliers. And whether that's Oracle, whether that's Chase, it's all added up to Warriors victories. The Warriors, we talked a lot about the defense. The Cavs shooting 40.2% from the field. That is the lowest opponent field goal percentage that the Warriors have held anybody to. They did hold Sacramento to 40.7 on Monday night. So the defense getting better. The Warriors now holding the last 2 opponents to 40.4 overall. So that gives you a fighting chance to win some of these games. And the effort and intensity wasn't always pretty against Sacramento, especially with the bench in the game on Monday night. But the Warriors able to overcome it and just a grittier rotation and I think more attention to detail on the defensive end. Warriors able to behind Steph Curry and all of the heroics from Steph, able to just hold on and find a way to inch back to 500. You don't want to slip 5-6+ games under 500. You got a lot of ground to make up. You got to play a lot of really good basketball over a period of time, really a couple of weeks to a month to get yourself back on track and back to where you're just at the watermark, the break-even point. And look, it looks right now, and we'll see. I know teams are going to have, they're going to decide whether they want to remain in the race for the playoffs and the play-in tournament. They're going to have tanking decisions to be made across the Western Conference. But looking at the standings, and I mentioned Sacramento, who won again tonight against the Lakers, and the Lakers are just abysmal. Now they've lost LeBron James. As I mentioned, he didn't play tonight. But getting a couple of wins to get closer to 500, it looks like there could very well be, and it's not the case right now. The 9 and the 10 are both under 500, but you look at the Warriors at 5-7, Oklahoma City's 5-7. I think they'll fall off. Minnesota's 5-8. There could very well be 10 Western Conference teams that are 500. It may be close, but I do think it's possible, especially as certain teams decide whether or not they're going to tap out on a season or not, and try to get themselves into a scenario where they can get a number 1 pick or a top 3, top 4 draft pick in the draft here coming up in June of 2023. But I'm just looking at it right now, and Utah and Portland getting off to the starts that they've gotten off to at 10-3 and 9-3 respectively. If those two teams are 500 teams, and Memphis, Phoenix, and Denver are going to be good. The Clippers are going to be a plus 500 team. Dallas is going to be, as long as Luka Doncic is upright and healthy. I think the Pelicans are a 500-plus team. I think the Warriors obviously are going to be a 500-plus team. That's 9 right there. And then who would the 10th be? Minnesota, things are starting to go awry a little bit for them. They've dropped 3 in a row, and it just doesn't seem like the pieces fit very well. But they're 5-8 now, and they've dipped all the way down to 13th in the Western Conference. The Lakers are 2-10. The Lakers have lost 5 in a row. They're 2-10, and now LeBron James is out. They are tied with the Rockets for the worst record in the NBA at 2-10, and a horrific point differential of minus 8.1 average per game. Only the Pistons worse in that category, but there could be 10 teams push 500 in the West, which makes the play-in tournament all the more entertaining, and it's going to make a lot of these regular season games a lot more difficult for the Warriors to be able to stack the victories as they have over really last year when they got off to the 18-2 start, and they built such a cushion to where they could kind of coast in the second half, still win enough games down the stretch to get to the 3 seed, and ultimately ride that on to an NBA championship. Let's welcome everybody to the 11 o'clock hour.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM in HD1 San Francisco. Always live on Twitch, YouTube, and the free Odyssey app.
Thanks, Steve. And yeah, live on Twitch and YouTube and the Odyssey app from Harmonic Brewing, here for another 10 minutes or so inside the Thrive City, outside Chase Center. Beautiful night. People still hanging out and enjoying their beverages to close out and celebrate the Warriors' victory tonight over the Cleveland Cavaliers, 106-101, the final. Let's go ahead and head back inside Chase Center and down to the Bill King press conference room for Draymond Green, a couple of minutes of his post-game presser following the win.
What's the reaction to the Bucks?
There is a couple reactions. Number one, Evan Mobley had 20 points. I don't like that. He's a stud, though, but I think we can do a better job there. And then also, just looking at, we didn't turn the ball over much more than them, but the points off turnovers that we did have, like those are more ways that we can help our defense. So just a couple things I was looking at.
Steph's, obviously been doing this for a decade or so, but are you seeing him slam the door, in these close games, with more force than ever? It just seems like as a scorer late in these wins, he's really kind of being very aggressive.
Yes, but I think what I'm taking away from that is the reads that he is setting all of this stuff up. You remember down the stretch where Loon set the flat screen and he walked into the three with Jared Allen? Like he set that up. And so I think, it's not so much what he's doing for me as, I think we've seen it for years, but I think it's how he's doing it and how he's putting guys in the spots that he wants them in. Like that's what I'm impressed with. The growth there is absolutely amazing. You always ask yourself, like, how can one be that good and continue to grow? And it's those small things like that. And then ultimately they show up in, the way he is closing in games. But those are the things that I've been paying attention to.
Just specifically on that play you mentioned, just from a, basketball perspective, what did he do there?
He came to the bench and he was saying, hey, everybody just space out. I'm going to pull the ball closer to half court because he's yelling at the big to stay down the floor. It's like JB just yelled at Evan Mobley to stay in the paint. And so to notice all of those things and actually get exactly to the exact shot that you want to get to and then make it is a whole different thing. Like, a lot of people can get that and realize, it's going to be there. But to actually set that up and then go deliver is very impressive.
Hey, Draymond, you mentioned Evan Mobley. They also have Jared Allen, 2 7-footers. What's it like dealing with all that length on both ends, but trying to score against that?
Trying to score against that length is tough because they make it very tough to get in the paint. That was one of the things that we spoke about with their defense is just how tight their shell is. And it starts with those two guys. And they've been absolutely impressive. They've done a great job of pairing two young bigs that can grow together. And I think, they have some special brewing for sure.
Dre, it seemed like Jordan found a bit of a rhythm. What do you think worked for him tonight?
I think he was getting off the ball and getting it back, moving side to side, moving the defense from side to side. I think, there are times where he's coming down and he's getting screens and the whole defense is just loading up. So having the ability to swing the ball from side to side and then he catch on the backside and start attacking, I think that's good for him. And it's, it's something that he has to grow into. You have that first great year like he had last year, and then teams study you all summer long in preparation for that following season. I think that's what's happened to him. And now he's in that period of figuring out, okay, how do I score? How do I get the shots and the looks that I want to get to? And it's a process, but I think he's starting to figure that out. I'm going to get off the ball, move to the opposite side of the floor. Once the ball reverse back, now I can attack. Now I can come off the screen and things start to open up for me. So it's just something that you have to go through and growing in this league. And it's, it's good for him. Overall, I think, he's starting to adjust to that, and it's good to see.
What are they doing? Are you seeing more press up on him or more help?
Well, I think they're definitely pressing up, but they're loading up. Like when he has the ball, the entire defense is loading up. That's a compliment to him. That shows the fear that defenses have for you. And, now his next step is to learn how to use that against them. I think that's one of the things Steph is best at. He's willing to get off the ball and move and get it back. And once you get it back, it's harder for the defense to load up as if you're just coming down the floor, calling for a screen or trying to get into your back. You moving from side to side, and it's harder for those guys to close those gaps. And Jordan's cat quick, so you get somebody going to side, he see a gap, he can get through it pretty fast.
You got things going tonight with a pair of assists, one to Steph, one to Clay, both resulting in 3-pointers, and you finished the night with season high 13. What about the flow of the game, or maybe it's something you saw in the Cavs defense that allowed you to get going as a distributor?
They're playing as great as those two traditional bigs are. There are some things that I see with those bigs when you're playing two traditional bigs that I think I can take advantage of. And tonight, was able to get off to a quick start, push the tempo. I think getting the pace at where we wanted it at was key. And so I wanted to try to force that issue in the very beginning. But overall, I always say, get assists, a guy got to make a shot. So it's a credit to our guys. They were knocking them down right out the gate and was able to have a good night as far as distributing the ball went.
You guys only went 8 deep in the second half. One of those 8, Anthony Lamb, who's clearly in the rotation at this point. What is he giving you?
He's giving us incredible energy. He really understands and know how to play the game of basketball. He can knock the shot down. He's tough. He makes small plays. He's always in the right spot. He's not afraid to guard a big man. He's not afraid to throw his body into bigs. And so I think it's great, and got to give a guy like that credit. He came in here in training camp late, earned the spot that he's earned, and he's taking full advantage of the minutes that he's been getting. So it's great to see. And that is a guy who, since I've met him, he's in here early, 2-3 hours early every day, getting his work in, and it's paying off. And you love to see that happen for guys that work like that.
101 points for Cleveland tonight. Was this your best defensive game as a team?
I think it was our best defensive game. I thought we were all locked in. Both units were locked in on that side of the ball. I thought for the most part, no, we did do a great job of defending without fouling. They still shot 26 free throws, so you can make of that what you may, but I thought we did a great job of defending without fouling.
Yeah, and at times, the Warriors still fouled, even though they were doing a good job of defending without fouling. I think there was more of a purpose defensively, clearly, tonight compared to some of the other games, and it proved with the field goal percentage, it proved with the three-point percentage. Warriors did a nice job defending the three tonight, 8 of 30. Now, sometimes that could be just a team on a cold night. And, yeah, the Cavs did get to the free throw line, but the Warriors did have more of a – there was just a defensive edge, I thought, to the game tonight. And Draymond, season-high rebounds, season-high assists for Draymond Green. And this one, looking at the final box, Draymond, 13 assists, 10 boards, kind of the quintessential Draymond night, right? 2 points, but 10 boards and 13 assists, and just kind of in the middle of everything. Had a steal to boot, and then the Warriors wind up winning this one by the 106-101 count. Interesting comment about Anthony Lamb. Anthony Lamb was key, and Draymond sounds like a fan of Anthony Lamb. There was also a quote before we get to Ricky here in Boston and call it a night. Kevon Looney, looking at this quote from the post-game press conference on Anthony Lamb. Kevon Looney, quote, "Guys who have a high IQ, we rely on spacing, cutting, being on the court with all-stars, you have to know where to be at. The front office has done a great job of finding guys like that. Anthony Lamb is an example," end quote. That's Kevon Looney on the players that fit in the Warriors system, and it does look like Anthony Lamb is one of those, even as a two-way player, that fits steadily in the Warriors system, and they need him right now because Jonathan Kuminga and James Wiseman, for the most part, have been unplayable, and Wiseman's in his own category, different type of player than Lamb, but Lamb able to knock down shots and do little things and play that high IQ basketball helps offset some of the developmental growth that maybe isn't quite there for a Jonathan Kuminga or even a Moses Moody, who I think for the most part is steady when he's on the floor, but shot making has been, in my mind, the biggest thing that's kept Moses Moody off the court. And so Anthony Lamb able to knock down shots makes him a more playable option at that point. Let's get Ricky in here before we call it a night. Ricky, you're going to have the last word on 95.7 The Game.
Hey, John. Thank you for having me, man. How's everything?
What's going on, brother?
Doing good, my man. Great win tonight. Great defensive game by the Warriors, and then out-rebounding them, the Cavaliers tonight. That was a big team right there. You had Mobley and you had the other center, the kid, I can't remember his name, the kid with the afro. Yeah, man, the Warriors out-rebounded them, but that was a great game. Clay was struggling. My wife, she thinks I'm a little too obsessed watching Klay Thompson. Every time he shoots and he misses, I'm like yelling at my dog. I'm hitting the couch. I'm like frustrated. I'm like, God damn it, just make it in, man. Make it in. And then, you hit a nice three-pointer there in the corner.
A big one late. He had a big one late.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he had a big one late, and his defense was better late. His defense was a little more a la in the finals, down the stretch at least.
Yeah, the last 3-4 minutes, he did the small things. You know what I mean? Set that pick for Kerr to hit that three. Play good defense, get that stolen ball from the Cavaliers, inbounding the ball. So he did the small things. I want Clay, to build on that. Well, I just wanted to show some love, bro. Go Cavs, man. I'm sorry. Go Warriors. Sorry about that.
Thanks, Ricky. Appreciate it. Good call from Ricky. And yeah, Clay did do the little things, and we talked about the decision that Steve Kerr had to make. Was he going to put Andrew Wiggins back in for Clay or Poole or potentially Looney? I didn't think it was going to be Looney because of the size of the Cavs, but he rode with Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson hit a big three and played solidly down the stretch, so another positive. So every win you can get with Clay, still trying to find his game, gives you one more game to where he's a step closer to potentially finding it closer to what he was in the past. All right, that'll do it for tonight. Great show. Appreciate the help of Sterling Bennett and everybody in our San Francisco studios. Out here at Harmonic Brewing in Thrive City, Warriors get the win over the Cavs. I'll be back tomorrow with Warriors Live. Back on Sunday with Warriors Live at 5 o'clock from Sacramento at Golden One Center. We'll have Warriors Live for you then. Warriors and the Kings tip off at 6, and then back tomorrow morning, bright and early, right here at 95.7 The Game. Join me and Whitey Gleason. We'll have Warriors this week, taking your phone calls and talking everything Dubs here at 888-957-9570. 10-1 tomorrow, so 10-1 with me and Whitey, and then 5 o'clock Sunday. That's the next broadcast, the Warriors and the Kings, as I'll be coming to you from Golden One Center in the capital city of California. That'll do it. Warriors get the win tonight, 106-101, and you heard it right here on 95.7 The Game. Good night.
First, we decide where we want to go. Then we need to know the best way to get there. Hi, my name's Adam Barada. I'm the owner of Advantage Gold. We're the highest rated precious metals firm in the country. We teach people how to own physical gold and silver. Now, we've won the Best of TrustLink Award 4 years in a row because we educate our clients on how to buy gold and silver the right way. We don't pay celebrity spokespeople millions of dollars. We'd rather pass that value on to you. Call 800-900-8000 and speak with one of our experts. We'll send you a free gold kit along with my latest #1 national best-selling book, The Great Devaluation. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000. Get the best information, the best process, the best service, the best value. Call Advantage Gold at 800-900-8000. Call 800-900-8000.
Advantage Gold is not an investment advisor or a tax advisor. Consult with your financial advisor before investing.
When back to the office means back in traffic.
Blocking these 3 right lanes, multiple emergency crews on the scene.
You can rely on your Northern California Honda Dealers Traffic Center.
On the shoulder now, so that's good. Traffic is getting by.
From your traffic leader, KCBS.
At the UPS Store, we know this upcoming holiday is when things can get busy for small business owners.
Exactly. My to-do list and I don't take days off.
That's why you can count on us to be open and ready to help with every small business need, whether it's packing and shipping or if it's just to check your mailbox.
That's almost everything on my to-do list. My list and I can take the day off.
Your local, the everything to help you be unstoppable store. The UPS Store. Be unstoppable. The UPS Store locations are independently owned.